Okay.
All right, welcome to your video about three-way calls and chats. Jenny and I are going to go through exactly how to invite, execute, and follow up with three-way calls and chats, and we're going to show you exactly how they work. Okay, so what we're going to do in this video is we're going to talk about why a three-way call or chat is important, how to transition to one, how to execute the actual call or chat, and then what happens next after the call or chat. I first want to talk to you guys about why it's so important to get people on these three-way calls or chats. And it's not because we don't believe that you don't know the information. The idea behind a three-way call or chat is that you are pointing someone into the direction of someone else, an upline or a sponsor, and that they are answering the questions, and that you're basically showing them exactly what they would be doing when they start to prospect people. It's an easy step-by-step process that as they're sitting in their mind, they're thinking, okay, can I host a call like this? Well, of course they can, because they aren't going to be doing the talking. The sponsor is going to be doing the talking. So it shows them that it's easily duplicated. And that's why these calls can be so important for you to succeed. Okay, so the first step is to invite them to a call. When you invite them, whether they say yes or no, that's when you move on to step two. If they say no to a call, sometimes it can be because they're just a little bit nervous to get on the phone, especially millennials don't like to get on the phone as much as they used to. And so that is when we kind of point more in the direction of moving towards a chat. But if they say yes to the call, what you're going to do next is you're going to schedule the call with your prospect and the upline. You're going to find out a day on the calendar, a certain time that works for both of them and for you, and you're going to get that on the schedule. Step three is going to be to confirm the call with your prospect the day of. A lot of times these calls are scheduled a few days out, and things happen, people get busy, and sometimes they forget about your calls. And so nobody wants wasted time. The best thing to do is to message them the day of the call, just to get a confirmation from them that they still plan on being on the call. The fourth step is obviously to execute the actual call, which we're going to go through in just a minute. And then the fifth step is to follow up with them to either get them to sign up, or if they're not ready to sign up yet, it would be to get them to the next exposure. Okay, so here's exactly what a chat's going to look like in order to get them on the call. This can be found in our scripts, and it's a super simple process. I use it every single time that I'm talking to a prospect to get them on the call. After I've sent them the video, which you can find our invite script and sending the videos in the training part of this page, but I basically send this next message: good morning, or hi, hello, whatever time of day it is. I have a million things going on today, but I didn't want to forget about you, or I didn't want to drop the ball on you. What did you like best about what they saw? Then no matter what they say, you agree with them, because they're answering in a positive way. You've just asked a question that allows them to answer in a positive way. And so you're going to agree with whatever they say. And you can say, I heard that, or I know, right? Based on what you now know on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being zero interest and 10 being ready to get started right away, where are you right now? And then they're going to give you a number. If their number is anything less than a 5, then your next goal is just to get them to their next exposure. Maybe it's inviting them to a business opportunity call. Maybe it's inviting them to a Women of DC call, whatever it is, just the next exposure. If their number is anything above a 5, then your only job is to get them either on the phone or in a three-way chat. You don't want to answer any questions. You don't want to try to sell them on it, and you don't want to tell them anymore. You just want to make it super simple process for them. And here's how you're going to get them on that call. You say, great, it sounds like you have some interest, but just maybe some questions. Let's set up a time to hop on the phone for 15 minutes. What works best for you? And then give them 2 options of different times of days, early morning or lunchtime. Once you get their answer, you're going to go to your sponsor or your sponsor or someone in your upline and figure out when they're available in that time range. And then go back to your prospect and say, okay, good deal. How about, and then you can give them either 1 time option or maybe 2 time options to choose between. Just give me the confirmation here on what time works, and I'm in. So then they're going to say, this time's great, sounds good. And at this point, you have not even mentioned that your sponsor is going to be on the call yet. And that's when you say, great, I look forward to it. What's your number? Mine is, and you're going to give them your number first because they're a lot more likely to give them your phone number, their phone number to you if you give them yours first. And then that's when you're going to say, I will see if my partner and mentor is free to hop on too. I'd love to connect with you too. I'm still learning, so she may be able to fill in the gaps where I don't know the answers. Can't wait. I'll shoot you a confirmation first thing that morning. And that's it. That's the whole conversation. And then you wait for the phone call. Okay, so the actual call is super simple. A lot of people tend to get a little nervous to get on the phone and to actually execute the call. But here's the thing, you don't have to do a lot of talking. So it's very easy for you. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to dial your prospect. You're always going to call them first and say your brief hello, just, chit chat, how are you doing, whatever it is. But don't keep it like under 2 minutes. You want to be respectful of their time, your time, and your sponsor's time so that you're on time for that three-way call. So then you're going to tell them, I'm going to switch over and get my partner and mentor on the call. And you call your upline, then you merge the two calls together. And then here's the most important part. You're going to edify your upline. This is important because it makes the prospect feel like they are talking to someone really important in the business, that they've succeeded at this, that they are like, you're almost putting them like up on a pedestal, and that they are taking their time out of their workload or out of their day to talk to them and answer questions about the business. This is really important. Even if you could answer all the questions about the business, you want it to come from someone that you're edifying. And this doesn't even necessarily have to be your sponsor. Maybe it's someone that you're partnering with and you're on the same team, but you can still edify the other person just the same. Okay. And then after that, you're going to introduce your prospect to your upline, and you're just going to reiterate whatever your prospect's interest level is. You're going to tell your upline, she's at a level 7, but she's got some questions that I was hoping that you could answer for her. And then you're going to hand it over to your upline or your sponsor, and you're going to mute your phone. And that is all you have to do until it's time to say goodbye at the end of the conversation. And that is it. You don't have to do any of the question answering or any of the talking. And I'm going to pull Jennia up on the screen, and we are going to go through exactly how that's going to sound to edify your sponsor or upline on the call so that you can get a gist of how that's going to work. All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Awesome. So guys, when you're doing the three-way call, just like Kacie said, the most important thing is they already know that you're going to pull on your upline or somebody that has already been pre-designated to be the control person on the three-way call. So like it said in the instructions, you're going to dial in your prospect. You're going to talk to them very briefly for 2 minutes. Then you're going to switch. Let's say Kacie is going to be mine, and we're going to switch it on over. And when you guys connect the two, your prospect and your upline, you can do a quick intro. For example, hey Shelby, this is my upline Kacie. She's super awesome and really excited to meet you. I just wanted to have her on the call to answer your questions. And then you're going to go right into edifying after you say this is, Shelby Kacie. Her interest level is about a 7 out of 10. And Shelby, let me introduce you to Kacie. You're going to go right into edifying your upline. As Kacie said, this is very, very important, guys. You want to make sure that everybody feels calm and comfortable, and they know that their questions are going to get answered, and also that your prospect feels comfortable. So this is an example of what it could be. Hey Shelby, this is Kacie. She's so super awesome. She is a stay-at-home mom of 2 little ones. She is also a former military wife, and she has been in network marketing before with a previous business. However, she decided to rock our wine biz out, and she has built our team to over 190 people. She is a master seller, and she is helping women win every single day. So I am so glad to connect you guys. I am going to, and I always tell this too to my prospects, I'm going to go over here and just mute my phone. I'm still on the call, but I'm going to let you and Kacie talk a little bit. I tell them that I'm going to mute my phone, and then I go ahead and mute myself because that's super important, so we don't feel like we have to interrupt the conversation or anything. And, as people are being edified and you have a good conversation, it's really hard sometimes to keep our mouths quiet because we're super excited because we want that person to sign. So what we're going to do is we're going to mute the call. And then Kacie would then take over with Shelby or whoever your prospect is, and then she would continue the call like that.
Perfect. Yeah. So then I would say, hey, Shelby, I'm really excited to talk to you and answer any questions that you have. Can you tell me how did you and Jennia get connected to begin with? And then I'm going to kind of ease them into it and just start talking to Shelby or whoever the prospect is and start answering any questions that they have. And then what your upline's going to do towards the end of the call is they're going to ask some closing questions. And these closing questions are going to be amazing in figuring out where they are on the realm of signing up, okay? You'll learn more about this later when you're on the other side of hosting three-way calls, but you don't need to worry about it too much right now. It's all to your benefit. Okay, so let me go back to this screen share. Okay, so just to go back over that real quick, your upline does all the talking. The upline's going to answer all the questions, and then your upline's going to ask those closing questions. And those closing questions look a little bit like this. On a level of 1 to 10, 1 being not interested and 10 being ready to sign up, where are you now? They'll ask that again. Or present a case to me as to why you should not do the business. Now present a case to me as to why you should do the business. This is a really awesome one because a lot of times they talk themselves into it. And then at the end, when they say, you know, they talk themselves into it or they give themselves like a 9 on the score, you'll say, great, sounds like you're ready to sign up. Jennia will send you their link to get started. And that's the end of the call. And then you're all going to say goodbye and you're going to say, I'll shoot you over the link and information on how to get started. And that's how the call goes. It's super simple process and it works. It's easily duplicated and simple to get through. Okay, so I do want to answer this question real quick before we get on to the chats with Jennia. But what if they don't answer the call? What if you've scheduled it? What if you've confirmed it? And what if you call and then they don't answer? Here's what I do. We had scheduled that exact time, so I leave a message and I say, this is Kacie, you know, I'm just calling you at our scheduled time. If you're able to get this in the next 5 minutes, give me a call back. If not, I'm actually heading out the door or I'm getting on another call or whatever. You want to be busy. And so if they don't answer or call back within that next 5 minutes, then I don't worry about it. I move on to the next person. Of course, I'll let my sponsor know immediately that they're not going to be on the call and that it's not happening so that they're not waiting around. But I give them 5 minutes. And after that 5 minutes, the next time I talk to them and when they say, oh, I'm so sorry, I forgot I was doing this. Okay, that's fine. We can reschedule for another time. And then I reschedule them for another day. And it's as simple as that. Don't be waiting by your phone for 15, 20, 30 minutes to get them on that call. Number one, you don't have time. Your sponsor doesn't have time. And that completely loses your posture when you do that. Okay. All right. So let's talk about chats. I'm going to hand it over to Jennia to finish out the call and talking about three-way chats.
Okay, so what is going to happen? So I love the chats because I feel like with millennials, a lot more people are going to feel more comfortable being in a three-way chat in Messenger or even in a group text message. I mostly do three-way chats because I think it's awesome. You know, people can like send little, you know, gifts and emojis, of course, through three-way chat. So sometimes it makes it feel a little bit more like a casual conversation. So when someone declines a call, following up after with a chat is fine. So you're going to request permission from your prospect, like of course before. Want to make sure that they know they're doing a chat and not a call. So I've done this with Kacie or with Jennifer or anybody else saying, hey, you know, I've got this girl that's really interested. Let's go ahead and get her in a three-way chat. I'm going to set it up right now. And you set up the group chat immediately. And you are telling your prospect, and your upline as well. You're going to start a three-way chat, like I said, with your upline, and then you're going to edify your upline and introduce your prospect the same way you did in the call. It's only going to be in a text. Hey, this is Kacie. She's awesome. She's a rock star. She's a master seller, blah, 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 blah. Hey, I want to introduce you to Shelby. She's going to have some questions. And I thought this was a great way to get her, you know, questions answered was in this chat. Do not say anything else. Once you guys introduce the chat with your upline and your prospect, you're going to be quiet again, like you were on the call, because now the upline has control of the call. You've edified the upline, and they are going to be able to walk your prospect, through those challenges, or if they have any other questions. And let your upline do the chatting. I know it's really hard, even if the conversation goes stagnant, but it is super important for once you start to set up that chat, and even if they don't say anything, that is it. So go ahead, Kacie, if you want to click into what we have for an example. Okay, so this is an example through Shannon, myself, and Kacie. Obviously, we're already with the business, but we want to show you guys a really simple example of how people are using three-way chats in this business and closing sales. As you can see, you guys can just take a screenshot of it. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but there was a quick introduction, and then Shannon introduced herself as the upline, and then, of course, I am the prospect. So I was like, I actually, she asked how I knew the prospect, or Shannon asked me how I knew Kacie. So I said, oh, we met through a mom's group, blah, blah, blah. So you guys can screenshot that. And then, Kacie, you want to go to the next one? Okay, so this is pretty much just our Q&A. There were some objections that I threw out to Shannon and how Shannon handled them that we thought would be a great idea for you guys to see. This is probably what some people are going to ask. Oh, I don't know if I have the time. What about if I don't know any people? Blah, 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 blah. So you guys can also screenshot that. And then as you can see in the very, very end where it says, that's amazing, actually, and then we're doing the whole end of the conversation, Shannon ends it and says, great, can't wait to get you started in the team page. So she is assuming to close. She's closing the sale and assuming that I'm going to sign up. Kacie will shoot you your link. We'll get you started. Can't wait to see you in the team page. And that is it. Kacie did not talk throughout the entire conversation. However, I wanted to stress this. If they have any other questions, you guys should not be talking at all in the three-way chat, because if you do, it completely nullifies the entire reason why we did this. If you are starting to answer questions, that's not good, because as we always say in sales, whoever speaks last loses. The prospect should be speaking last, saying, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. That's amazing. I'm ready to sign up. So make sure you take a screenshot of that. And that's a really great example of how to walk through. And it's a very quick chat as well. I had a couple questions, but she always is assuming to close. Shannon does a great job with that. So go ahead. So again, chats and calls are exactly what you need to do to get the prospect and fence sitters maybe off the fence and into signing up with our team. Some will, some won't. So what? Who's next? So some people are going to be excited. They're going to see this amazing opportunity and they're going to hop on the wine train really quick. Some won't. We get tons of no's all the time. So what? Who cares? Who's next? There are always people that are looking for this opportunity. And what we need to be doing with the three-way chats is we need to be sorting quickly and we need to be closing the sale, because we all know that we love to build an awesome team, and we all know that we don't have time to sit around and try to beg for three-way chats or beg for three-way calls. The reason why we have this set up is so that the pressure can be taken off you a little bit, and because number one, it's very duplicatable. Okay, guys, everybody can set up a three-way chat because it's pretty much taking the responsibility off of them and putting it on someone else. And anybody can do this